Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt with Walking the Financial Highline with Highline Financial Coaching. I am excited today. We get to talk about a topic that's hopefully exciting for most people. We're getting to the end of the school year, and it's time to prepare for the summer vacation. When the kids are home, when things are a little more crazy, how do we prep for that financially? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Again, getting started, letting you know about one of the things on my bookshelf behind me. That hat up there, the red hat, is a team that I ride my bike with. It's NPC Racing, and I keep that up there. It's got the wolf on there. And it's part of the reason I broke free and created Highline Financial Coaching is when I started cycling and feeling good about the physical activity I was doing, getting in better shape. It helped push me to that next level with getting outside of my box and creating this business. And I am so grateful that I made that transition. And so I keep that hat up there to remind me of those tough days, the tough challenges when I first started cycling, when I felt like I was going to pass out every time I got on my bike, and just the progress that we were able to make during that time. So, but again, today we get to talk about summer finances, and it's a perfect time to start planning some of those summer activities with your family. Now, as I talk about this, a lot of people start stressing about their finances during the summer. The best thing you can do to prep for your summer is prep for it way in advance. And I know we're coming up to summer. That may not be the best thing for now, but with a lot of the people that I work with, we put a budget together and we plan for the summer vacations, the summer activities, so that you don't always feel like you're scrimping on your money and you have to do the cheapest activities, because a lot of the activities are fun, maybe the ones that cost a little more. Living in Utah, a lot of people go to Disneyland for their summer vacation, and anyone that's been to Disneyland or Disney World know that it's extremely expensive just to get one day in the park. And you can see I've got 4 kids, and so one day at the park is a huge financial burden, especially if you don't prep for it. So the best thing you can do is prep way in advance. Start budgeting. If you're working with someone with your finances, make sure you put that in there. The families that I work with, we put that budget in, and then we make sure the money's available when you go on that vacation, so that when you get to your location, you don't stress about it, and you know what the budget's going to be. So I'll tell you, with my family, I'm the finance guy. I'm the frugal one. So every time we'd go out of town, we'd walk into the souvenir shop, and it would make me sick, because I'm looking at it going, who in their right mind is going to spend $30 for that mug? And it would stress me out. It would stress me out a lot, especially when my kids are putting everything on the counter and we're about to check out. I was the dad that was like, yeah, we don't need souvenirs. I know it's the first time in Disneyland, but we don't need souvenirs. So I got to the point where we put a budget on there. When I knew how much the souvenirs were going to cost, it made it so much easier for me to go check out. I knew what it was going to cost ahead of time, and we stayed within that budget. One of the times when we went to Disney World a couple of years ago, we planned for it way in advance. And so when we decided to go on that trip, we sat our kids down and said, hey, we have the opportunity to go to Disney World. How much do you guys want to go? And of course they wanted to go really bad. And to do that, I said, you guys, we're going to need your help to be able to get there. So are you willing to do side jobs and work to be able to pay for some of the trip? And so it was really fun watching my kids that year. We had about 6 months before we were going to leave. So what they'd do is they went to we lived next to their grandma, and then their grandma and grandpa live up the road. They would go up, they would mow lawns. They mowed those lawns all summer long, and we put all that money into a big pot. My oldest at the time had a job, and he put a chunk of money in. Well, my kids were able to raise enough money that they were able to pay for our flights to get to Florida. And they were also able to, we gave them a gift card that we bought, I think it was at Target. They'd give you 15 or maybe 5 to 15% off if you bought it there at Target. So we got a discounted card, and each one of our kids had one of those for either $50 or $100. And then when we were at the park, they were able to use that to buy any of the food they wanted, any of the souvenirs they wanted, and they got to manage the money while they were there at the park. And it was really fun to watch, because then they decided if they wanted the $10 soda or if they wanted to save the money to get their souvenir. So that was a really fun experience, and it caused me a lot less stress than some of the other trips, because I already knew what the budget was. We had it on the card. We knew what it was going to cost, and we actually came in under budget on that trip. I think it was the first time that had ever happened. Partially, one of the reasons was because the airline tickets came in cheaper than we thought. That helped a lot when you're trying to fly 6 people, mostly across the country. So now for those budgeting tips, if you haven't planned for the summer and it's sneaking up on you, first thing, let's talk about budgeting. Start by creating a budget for the total summer. How much money do you have available to allocate for that? And then I would divide it up monthly. Also look at the activities that you want to go on. If there's something that's going to be more expensive, put that in one month. And then maybe the month before, you do activities that aren't as expensive. So one of the summers we bought a swim pass to one of the local swim parks, and we were able to get it for a really good price. And it was a season pass. So the kids were able to go multiple times, and that helped keep our budget lower during those times. So having a budget and being able to follow that budget makes it so that you don't look at your credit card one day and go, whoops, that was worse than we expected. And then throw some affordable activities in there. You can do some hikes. You can go to parks close to your house. You can make it enjoyable without having to spend a lot of money for those things. There's free concerts. There's the city I live in every year does one of the best fireworks shows, and there's no cost to come and watch that fireworks show, and we love it. We do it every single year. So you can do some things at home, the do-it-yourself type things at home, whether you've got a backyard or you've got activities, your kids have friends, you can get them together. And our kids love doing the water balloons. Costco has that big thing of water balloons that you just hook to the hose, and it fills about 60 of them up at the same time. It saves your fingers a lot when you're tying balloons. So that's a good one. And find those things that are more fun at home. And then save on travel. If you are going to travel, make sure that you book some of those trips in advance. Look for the discounts. Look for good flights. On the weekends, those flights go up. They know everybody's looking for them. But find those tricks and tips to help get your travel down. If you've got hotel points, utilize those and keep that so it's less expensive. And then like I talked about earlier, teaching your kids about money is very useful. If they understand some of the sacrifices it takes to make it through the summer, they can appreciate it more. They appreciate, my kids loved going to Disney World. My 2 oldest bought the lightsabers that are really expensive, but they saved for it. And now they take care of them. They're hanging on their wall. They make sure they're not breaking them. Since they had to flip the bill, they respect it and treat it a lot better because of that. So with a little bit of planning, a little bit of creativity, you can make an amazing summer and not break the bank. And again, if you do want to do some of those bigger activities and you're wondering how to get there, that's where a good financial coach comes in. If you're prepping for that for the year before, you can have everything in place so you can go on that dream vacation and not have it ruin you for the next couple of years. So if you found this useful, please share it, subscribe to our channel. We're excited to see the things you do over the summer and how creative you can make that And I hope you have a great summer with you and your family, enjoying the outdoors or doing what you love doing. This is Matt with Walking the Financial Highline with Highline Financial Coaching. Thank you.